Welcome to Hook and Gather Studios, where we hook, gather, and create together. Today we'll be learning how to do some basic stitches. So let's walk through this together and dive in. Alrighty, so I'd like to start with our yarn. Typically, I like to have beginners just start out with just common acrylic or worsted yarn. You can get this anywhere from your local Walmart to Dollar Tree, which is actually where I got this one, or your local craft store. Just something to start out with. I'd like to start with this. It's just easier to see when you start crocheting. The type of hook I'd like to start with as well is a L11 hook or 8mm. You can get these same places. Walmart tends to have them. I've yet to see them at a Dollar Tree, but these are pretty good. It's a alloy. So let's dive into actually crocheting. So I'm going to take this off. First off, we're going to learn how to do a slip knot. You're going to take your yarn and take 2 fingers. I like to hold it like this. You're going to wrap it around. You're going to take your bottom fingers to just kind of pinch this. Then I'm going to take this yarn piece and put it over this one. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to take this piece and put it over on this side. Now I'm going to grab this bottom piece. I'm going to grab it, pinch it, and pull it. You'll start to see this unravel and tighten. Just keep tightening it until it forms a little knot. And that's our slip knot. So this is also called our working yarn, and this part is called our tail. I like to have the tail away from the direction I'm working on. So I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to put it through this loop, I'm going to tighten this, not too tight so you can still get your hook through, but just enough to where it's nice and snug. Now, we learned how to do a slip knot. So we're going to move on to chain stitch. So first thing we're going to do is to learn how to hold it. I like to pinch with my right hand and then take my left hand to work my yarn. So we're going to yarn over. So you're going to want to work from the back to the front towards you, keeping this in your hand. Now I'm going to pinch that with my left hand and work my hook to pull it through this loop. A good thing to keep in mind too is to remember to move your hook so it's easier. So I'm moving the hook in the direction of the bottom corner so it's easier for me to pull that through that loop. So that's going to be 1 stitch right here. So this little circle is 1 stitch. So I'm going to do the same process again. I'm going to pinch it with my right, going to yarn over, I'm going to pinch it with my left, I'm going to twist my hook and pull through. Same process again. Pinch with your right, yarn over, pinch with your left, twist my hook and pull through. And you just keep doing that until you have a good amount of length. This chain stitch is going to be a foundational stitch. So anything you make, you're more likely going to have to make this step first. So if you want your project to be like yay length, then this chain stitch needs to be yay length. So you just keep on going till you get to your desired length. And there you go. So now we're going to move on to our slip stitch. So we still have our chain. What we're gonna do, so not this first stitch right here, but the second one. We're gonna put our hook through there. Gonna yarn over. I'm gonna twist my hook and pull through. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna twist my hook and pull that loop through this next one. And I just keep doing that. So not this stitch, but the next one. I'm going to put my hook through. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull through that first loop and then pull through that second loop. And you can see it's starting to look a little different. So not this first loop, but the second loop. Put my hook through, yarn over, pull through that first loop, then pull through that second loop. And then you just keep doing that. So not the first stitch, but the second stitch. Put my hook through, I'm going to yarn over, pull through that first loop, pull through that second loop. And you keep doing that. So not the first one, but the second one. Hook through, yarn over for the first one and the second one. And you keep doing that till you get to your desired length. Now, whenever you get to the end of your second row here, you always want to make one chain stitch. So we yarn over, pull through that loop. Now, because we're going on to our third row, we're going to flip our project over. So now it looks like how it did when we began the second row. So now we're going to learn how to do a single crochet. We're going to take our project again. Same principle, I'm not going through that first stitch. So not this one, not this stitch, but this second one. And now we're going to go through both loops. Sometimes I like to use my hook curve to get my hook in there. So now we're going to yarn over, pull through both of those loops. Now I have 2 loops on my hook, but instead of pulling this one through this loop, I'm going to yarn over and pull through both. So not this first loop right here, because we just worked in that, but the second loop here. It might be a little harder to see. I'm going to put my hook through both of them. I'm going to yarn over, twist my hook, pull through those. I should have 2 loops. I'm going to yarn over and pull through both. We just repeat this process. So not this first stitch, but this second one. I'm going to put my hook through. I'm going to yarn over, twist my hook, pull through those. I have 2 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through both. Not first, but second. Yarn over, pull through those, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both. And you just keep doing that till you get to the end of your row. And then again, when you get to your very last stitch, you're going to do 1 chain, and then you're going to flip your project. So again, we'll be starting in this stitch. So now that we learned how to do a single crochet, we're going to learn how to do a half double crochet. So we're going to take our project, not starting in this first stitch, but the second one. This time, before I put my hook in the stitch, I'm going to yarn over. Then I will put my hook through the stitch. Then I will yarn over again, pull through that first loop. So now I should have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. So let's do that again. I'm going to yarn over before I put my hook through the stitch. So not that first one, but the second one. I'm going to put my hook through the loop, yarn over, pull through that first loop. Now I have 3 on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So once again, not that first loop, but the second. I'm going to yarn over, put it through the second loop, yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. So now you can start seeing a bit of a difference. It should look all nice and clean. And again, if it's not looking so pretty, do not worry about it. You are learning this for the first time. You absolutely can have some grace. Mine didn't look so pretty when I first started out either, so do not worry about it. This is just practice. We're not focusing on making it look pretty right now, so do not be discouraged. So once again, we're going to yarn over, not the first stitch, but the second. Put your hook through, yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. So yarn over, put hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. And you just keep going until you get to the end. Once again, we're going to make a chain stitch at the end of our row. We're going to flip our project. Now, we're going to learn how to do a double crochet. It's similar to the half double crochet, but an extra step. So, we're looking at our project again. We're going to yarn over, go through this second set of loops, yarn over, pull through. So we have 3 loops again. But this time we're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops only. So now I should have 2 loops left on my hook. So now we're going to yarn over and pull through both. Now it's going to look a little taller now. We're going to repeat that process. So not this first stitch, but the second. I'm going to yarn over, put my hook through that loop, yarn over, pull through that first one. I have 3 loops, yarn over, but I'm only pulling them through the first 2. So now I should have 2 left. Yarn over, pull through both. We're in the same process. So yarn over through this second stitch here, yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2 only. Now I have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both. We're going to yarn over, go through that next loop, yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 3 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through those first 2 stitches only. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. And you just keep on going. And don't forget to do your chain stitch before you turn your project. Alrighty, now we're going to move on to the triple or treble crochet. Now I will say, moving forward, these next 2 stitches are not as common depending on what you're trying to make. The ones we just covered are going to be your more common stitches that you'll see more often. But I'm just going to go over it anyways, just for education's sake. Once again, we're going to be working in this stitch right here. So you're going to start yarning over, but then you're going to yarn over again. So this is our main loop. Yarn over, then yarn over again. Then we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through that first bunch. So now we should have 4 loops on our hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 only, so I should have 3 loops now. I'm going to yarn over, pull through those first 2 only, yarn over, pull through those last 2. This is going to be much taller and a lot more gap in between your stitches. So once again, we're going to yarn over, we're going to yarn over again, then we're going to insert our hook. Yarn over, pull through that first bunch. We have 4 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through those first 2. I should have 3 loops now. Yarn over again, pull through those first 2. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. So you can see how much more gap it's going to be, but it comes in handy with different stitches. You could use this on sewing on your project to like put a button in there, like a buttonhole, or maybe the blanket or whatever project you're working on. You want a lot of like gap, see-through, like one of those like vegetable macrame bags that you see. But yeah, we're going to yarn over again, and insert it in your next stitch. Yarn over, go through that first bunch. I have 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over again, pull through those first 2 loops. I should have 3 now. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through those last 2. Now it's really tall. Wait till we get to the next one. Yarn over again, put your hook through that next stitch. Yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops. I should have 3 now. Yarn over, pull through those first 2. I should have 2. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. Alright, should be looking a little bit like this. So yarn over again, put your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through the first 2. I have 3 now. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And you just keep on going. And now we're moving on to the next stitch. Alrighty guys, now we are moving on to the double triple crochet. Very tall, I will add. You're going to start with your project. We're going to yarn over again, and guess what? We're going to yarn over again. It's going to be huge. So now we're going to insert our hook again to that first stitch. Yarn over, pull through that first bunch. Now I'm going to have 5 loops on here. And again, you're more than likely not going to have to do this stitch unless you're doing something very specific. Now we're going to yarn over, kind of pull through the first 2 loops only. And if it gets messy and you can't really see, just slow down, take a minute. You can like what we call frog it, which is you rip it out and you just redo it. Hey, if you want to undo your entire project and start over again, that is very much encouraged. You only get good at stuff that you keep practicing at. That's one thing I've always preached. Practice, practice, practice. So we're going to try that again. I'm going to yarn over, and guess what? Yarn over. We're going to insert our hook. Yarn over again. Pull through that first bunch. We're going to have 5 loops on here. We're going to yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops. Now I should have 4. Yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops. down to 3, yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. So we're going to start that again. We're going to yarn over a second time, yarn over a third time. I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch. I'm going to yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I should have 5 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through those first 2, down to 4, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through those next 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And as you can see, it's getting really tall now. Huge. So yarn over once, yarn over twice, yarn over 3 times. So not this stitch because we just went through it, but this next stitch. We're going to put our hook through. I'm going to yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 5 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, down to 4, yarn over, pull through those next 2, yarn over, pull through those next 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Yeah, very, very long. Again, this is the double, triple crochet. And then you just keep on keeping on. 1, 2, 3. Put your hook through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through that first bunch. I have 5 loops, yarn over, next 2, yarn over, next 2, yarn over, next 2, yarn over, the last 2. Let me see. And then you just keep repeating that process. And again, don't worry about speed or making it look pretty. It all comes with practice and time. Sometimes people have issues like holding the hook properly and learning to twist it. One thing I have seen that people will use is, let me see. Well, I'll just do a single crochet for an example. So when they put their hook in the loop, they yarn over and do this. Sometimes people have trouble, like twisting the hook to get underneath. One thing I've seen people do and that has helped and all is, if you just want to do this, it's the same result. If it's easier for you, by all means. So they just pick it up and like put it over their hook. Pick it up and put it over their hook. And that's easier for you, by all means, it's the same result. If it's more comfortable for you for learning, go ahead and do it. There's no right answer. Start your chain stitch and then you flip your project. So it should be kind of looking like this as we get bigger and bigger. So for our next stitch, what we're gonna do is what we call an increase. So you'll see these more commonly in projects as well. So this is doing a single crochet twice in the same stitch. Sometimes people, patterns will say to do like 2 increases in the same stitch. That might mean 4. They'll typically specifically list what they're talking about in their pattern, but a increase is just adding an additional stitch to your row so that the next row will be bigger and bigger. So if you want your project to like go outwards like that, or make your circle like wider and wider, you're gonna do an increase to make the project go out more. Let me see. So what we're gonna do a single crochet, which remember, you put your hook through that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, So now I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through both. So I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it in that same stitch. So put your hook through, yarn over, pull through. You have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both. So now as you can see, there are 2 stitches in this one. So that is called an increase, and you're going to see, so there's, when I go on to my next row, I'm going to have 1, 2 stitches to work in next row. So we just do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. So now you can see this was 1 stitch and this was 1 stitch. I've now just made it 4, as you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 2. So my next row is going to be a lot longer. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through both. So that's 1. Hook in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. That is 2 in that 1 stitch. So now what I'm going to show you how to do is called a decrease. So it's, you know, as the name entails, it's going to be the opposite of what we just did. So the goal is to lower the amount of stitches in this row. Typically what that is used for is, you know, making your project, instead of going out, it's going to make it start going inwards. Or sometimes when you're making the circles or rounds, it's starting to like close off the circle, making the top. So one way of doing this, sometimes you can use a slip stitch, which we just covered. So you put your hook in, yarn over, and you can do it that way. Another way I see is put your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. And you do not yarn over. You keep these on here. So you do that once, and then you do it a second time. Put your hook through, yarn over, pull through, and you keep that on there. So now we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of these. So if you can see it, we took 2 stitches and made it into 1. So now I'm not going to put my hook through this one because we just went through that one. As you can see, the little stitch right here. I'm going to put my hook through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through it. Not going to yarn over at this point. I'm going to go on to my next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now I have those 3 loops. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of these. So you can see we had 1, 2, 3. Now we limited it to 2. So that is how you do a decrease. Alrighty, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. If you like it, please let me know in the comments. I will post more videos coming soon, but just want to say thank you and bye for now.